Hi. So this is the game between Mom and Phil. Mom is playing with the white pieces. Phil is playing with the black pieces. So Mom starts with e4, Phil e5. Now d3, bishop to c5, getting the bishop out. h4, preparing to get the bishop over here. d6, setting up a nice pawn structure. Bishop to g5, attacking the queen. Knight f6, blocking. a3, bishop to d4, nice square. c3, kicking the bishop away. Bishop going back to b6. Knight f3. Attacking the pawn here, defending the bishop. h6, attacking the bishop, kicking it away. Bishop to d2. Now bishop to g4, pinning the knight against the queen. Queen has to move, or else knight can't move. So queen to a4, this is check also, blocked by c6. c6 is defended by the pawn here and the knight here. d4, attacking this pawn, threatening to blow things open. Black castles. c4, nice phalanx of pawns in the middle. Knight captures e4, that was a pawn. Knight captures e4, attacking the bishop. Bishop to d3. Now, what about this trade? Taking the knight, taking the bishop for the knight. Is it good? Is it bad? At that moment, I thought, if I take the bishop, then I can take this pawn here, and opening things up a bit, I'll have two bishops, and she will just have one bishop. So I thought it was a good trade. Knight captures d2. Knight recaptures on d2. And the pawn takes on d4. So now what? Well, now knight captures d4, and we have a nice position to look at. So one thing is white can take with the knight here, and when the knight takes back, the queen can take back, and it's an even trade. So, but this is, oh, it was black's turn. So black bishop captures d4. That was a mistake by mom capturing here, but I'll make a bigger mistake later, and that's what's gonna happen. It'll even things out. So bishop captures the knight on d4, basically for free. Okay, now this pawn is under attack, so the rook comes to d4 here. Rook comes to b1. Now, knight d7. At this point, I had no clear plan. I know I can move this rook here and give check. That's always good. But I played knight d7, just getting my knight out, connecting everything here. And the pawn attacks my bishop here on f3. Pawn on f3 attacks the bishop on g4. Knight e5, this attacks the bishop here, and while white is going to move king to e2, that gives that, well, here I was threatening to take the bishop, also giving check, so that would give me time to move my bishop away. So I'd get the bishop, and I'd give check if she takes the bishop. So now she played king to e2. This kind of nullifies the strategy. I can't capture here because the pawn will take back. And I can't do this thing with the check here because the king can just take my knight. So I played rook to e8. This is kind of nice because when my knight moves, the king will be checked. So I can take this bishop, or maybe take this pawn. If I take this pawn, the queen can't take, bishop can't take, because the king has to move, and then I get my knight away. Incidentally, this pawn is protecting my bishop from the queen, so might as well leave it there. Now let's get it on. The pawn takes, and now I take the pawn. This is check, and I'm trying to make some kind of attack here because I lost my bishop for a pawn. It's not so good. King goes back to f1. This king going to d1 would have been bad because of knight to f2. And now I'm attacking the knight, and I can take the rook when the king moves. King moves somewhere like this, then the knight takes, and then the rook takes, and that's pretty good for black because rook is worth more than a knight. So king went to f1. Now queen to f6 check. I didn't like losing my bishop, so now I'm trying to attack because I'm feeling down a bit. Need to win or else lose later. So mom blocks with a knight. Rook to e3, threatening the bishop. Bishop defended by the rook to d1. Now doubling up my rooks. I want to have a nice big attack here. But it turns out I miscalculated because, okay, this after rook to e8, mom plays c5. And now this doesn't bother me because I'm ready to launch my attack, which is actually a bad attack and it's not going to work. So, like this. Because if I take the rook, which is what I'm going to do, well, now she takes the rook. And now, if I take the rook, then she takes my rook, and I've basically given up 2 rooks for 1 rook. Yeah, that's it. So, wait, where am I here? Okay, so now she takes, and I'm not going to take back with my rook because that wouldn't really be good. And now, well, now after, so instead of taking with my rook, I took with a pawn here like this, but this isn't good either because now, actually she didn't do it, but she could have just checkmated me here.
Si vous aimez gagner, il faut pas jouer contre moi.
So, but she didn't do that. Instead, she played queen to a7, which is just as good. She didn't see the checkmate, but she's gonna get it soon after. So Rook to e5. My rook was undefended from this rook, so I decided to get it at least defended by my bishop. Now my plan is to attack it by getting my bishop here, and for some reason I was blind and I didn't see this pawn. So that's okay. And now we have, okay, so after rook to e5, queen captures here on b7. She's just gobbling up all my pawns. And now what can I do? I tried this. I'm basically this. I've lost now. So because she has mate, as soon as the queen goes down here, so if, for instance, now if the queen goes here, which she's going to do, oh, well, since it's the game, let's do this like that. So the queen goes here, and the only legal move because of this bishop here, king can't go here, and he has to get off this file, this rank, this 8th rank. So the actual only move is actually this. And now after queen
Il
takes
s'est pris un
here,
mat débile,
it's
ce Burry.
checkmate. So well played by mom. Really proud of her. Even after this, the rook is still lined up with the queen. If there was a way for me to move away here, if this bishop weren't there, then the rook can come and it's on the same line with the queen. So good game by mom. And that's it. Bye.